Today we're talking about the one shift that changed it all. After a lifetime of yo-yo dieting and riding that roller coaster of weight loss, regain, this is the one thing that has helped me to maintain my weight loss goals for over a decade now. I can't wait to share it with you. Let's get started. Do you struggle to maintain weight loss but desperately want to feel good in your own skin, confident in your clothes, and improve your overall health? If so, you're home. Hey, I'm Sam, dietitian, specialist in weight management, and former functioning fat girl. I learned the secret of how to lose and maintain weight by simply nourishing my life well. If you're ready for the sustainable nutrition strategies, consistent habits, and freedom from a self-sabotaging mindset, grab your water bottle and let's go. Friends, I have so many exciting things coming up that I cannot wait to share with you. And the best place to find those things is to be subscribed to my email list. I'll be sending out free trainings. I'll be sending out fun recipes. I will let you know how you can work with me. I will give recaps of our discussions here on the podcast. So many exciting things, and I don't want you to miss out. So go ahead and click on the link in my show notes to subscribe to my email list. Let's get started. Hi, hello. I'm so excited. Welcome to the More Than a Number podcast. I'm Sam, and I cannot even believe that I'm saying this, but this is my very first podcast episode. So excited. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you will stick around. I think I have a lot of value to share with you over these episodes. In particular, today, I want to talk about the one very simple shift that really took my weight loss and maintenance game up to the next level. And the reason that it is because it's so simple. And that's what I want to get into today. I think we tend to overcomplicate things, and that really brings on all of the overwhelm. So if you know anything about me, I literally have been watching my weight, have been struggling with my weight for my entire life. And I think there's so many of us out there that we're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And in preparation for starting this podcast, I interviewed a lot of people, and I have a decade of experience now in coaching people in weight loss and nutrition in general. And in all of those conversations, I think one of the biggest things that we all have in common is we're just exhausted. We are mentally exhausted. Certainly, actual physical exhaustion is there as well for a lot of us. And if you're not getting proper sleep, that can certainly be a factor as well. And if I'm coaching you, we will definitely get into that. But mainly, the exhaustion comes from the overwhelm of just years and years of being told how much we should weigh, how much weight we should lose, what we should look like. And, you know, it's literally exhausting. So I will not say that word one more time. I know I just said it 900 times in a row. But the biggest, most simple shift that really helped me to start to find that long-term weight maintenance and health that I spent a lifetime chasing is probably going to upset some of you, because we are here to talk about weight loss and weight maintenance on this podcast. But the biggest thing is to stop focusing on the number on the scale. As the title of my podcast denotes, you are more than a number. And there are so many of us that kind of grew up being told by doctors or whoever else, other adults that told us how much we should weigh and that we need to lose X amount of weight, yada, yada. And our focus is always on this magical number that we either think that we should weigh or magical number of pounds that we think that we need to lose. And it's like how they say when you're waiting for the water to boil, a watched pot never boils, right? And that's exactly what happens with the scale. We get so laser focused on our expectations of what that silly little piece of metal or whatever the heck this scale is made out of, that little contraption that we're standing on. And we're expecting certain things, and when we don't get what we expect, then it has a domino effect on our entire mood, on our the way that we talk to ourselves, the way that we carry ourselves, and we live with a lot of guilt and shame after years and years and years of going on this weight roller coaster. So when we actually take the focus off of that number and start focusing on the behaviors that encompass just being a healthy person, living an overall healthy life, then that really starts to shift the pressure off of the expectations of what that little contraption is going to say to us. And so if it goes down, great. Obviously, when we talk about weight loss, we do want to see a number go down, and that is the ultimate goal, right? But how are we going to get there? And then how are we going to stay there? So I always feel a little bit like the Debbie Downer when I say this to people, but losing weight is certainly hard. It is incredibly difficult for many of us, especially as we get into some of our later years. But it's not the hardest part. The hardest part is actually maintaining the weight loss. And we want to set ourselves up for success. We don't want to focus on that number, do all these just grasping at straws, trying to lose the most weight. We get inundated on social media with all of this, not just social media, but on the interwebs in general, with all of this information, all of these tips and tricks, and this expert says this and that expert says that, and all of these people telling us, here's what you need to do, whether they know what they're talking about or not. It could be the craziest things that people have tried, but you better believe it. If they lost weight doing it, we're going to try it. And when we do all of those things, it's just making everything so complicated. We get overwhelmed with the smallest details that are in the overall grand scheme of things insignificant. We're trying to figure out, I don't know, how many milligrams of sodium are we supposed to put in our water for electrolytes? And, are we supposed to sauna, or are we supposed to cold plunge? Or should we be doing cardio or doing strength training? And how much cardio, and what kind of cardio, and how much strength training, and what kind of strength training? Do I need a trainer? Do I have to go to this gym? Maybe that gym is better. What about this type of workout? This one's doing Orange Theory. That one's doing F45. What about the, CrossFitters? All of these options and suggestions and things, and we get inundated with all of this information. There's so much information at our fingertips, some of it great, some of it not so great. And we're always looking for that like magic thing that's gonna be the thing. Like, okay, well, I didn't really love F45, and so I, canceled my membership, but everybody says Orange Theory is great, so let me try Orange Theory. That's the thing that's gonna do it. Or, I tried paleo and I lost 5 pounds and then got stuck there and I couldn't lose any more. And so now I'm on this whole carnivore kick that everybody's on. And, it just is never, ever ending. And we're always focused on the latest and greatest thing. And unfortunately, the reality of it, guys, is there is no magic thing. There's no magic pill or injection or surgery or diet or anything like that. And this is coming from someone who, like I said, has spent a lifetime struggling with the disease of obesity, struggling with losing weight, maintaining weight. And I had gastric bypass surgery in 2007. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made. And it really kind of started this whole quest for me and wanting to, really understand and learn the science of nutrition and learn how to take care of myself. But the reason that I ended up going back to school to become a dietitian is because in the years that followed after my bypass surgery, I realized very quickly that I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And if I didn't really learn the big picture and understand the body and what I needed to do to keep myself healthy, I would end up right back to where I started from. So, and then of course, getting interested in nutrition and learning about it. And I just developed this deep desire to want to share all that information with everybody else and really wanting to give back to people and help people who are where I have been and, are struggling with these things. So it takes a lot of consistency and really getting out from those like micro little minute details of things and looking more at your lifestyle and your days in a macro sense. Like certainly there are a lot of details and things and trust me, like I'm super interested in all of the latest and greatest things, and I always want to understand and learn and see if there are any nuggets of potential benefit or what the drawbacks are. And I am interested in all the things too. I want to know if we sauna or if we cold plunge. I consume all of this information myself. But when it comes to the science of weight loss and weight maintenance, the reality, the research, the data, everything shows us that it is as simple as you can possibly get. It's not easy, but it is simple. And that is, what are we putting into our body? How are we moving our body? How are we resting our body? And then there are sort of some other like bigger overlapping factors that kind of are a big umbrella and shape how we make those decisions. And in my professional and personal opinion, that is what our identity is, our mindset. Who are we and who do we want to be? Who do we want to become? And then what are our core beliefs? Like, what's your North Star? What is your why? So those two things really will end up shaping the way that we consume food and beverage, how much we're putting in, what we're putting in, how we're resting our body, how we're moving our body. And when a person is struggling with let's just use this as an example, as all of their meals coming from fast food. And when they roll up to the fast food window, they have every intention in the world to order the grilled chicken and the salad. But the second that window goes down and they smell those French fries, it's very difficult to then stick to the intention, and they end up getting, the number 4 supersized with, of course, the Diet Coke, right? But they end up consuming a lot of excess calories through those fast food meals. And so when I meet someone and we go through that process of them telling me exactly what they're eating and how they're eating, and I get to know their habits and what their intake is, and then they want to know, let's say, should I be using seed oils or beef tallow when I cook my meals at home? Or should I be, eating more meat and less vegetables? Or should I be eating more plants and less meat? And they're asking these like very particular questions. We need to halt it there. First and foremost, we just need to get into the habit of not eating the fast food, or trying to stick to the plan of getting the better choices. So maybe ordering it online before and just going up and picking it up. Like, we have to start at the most basic of principles, and a lot of that centers around calories in versus calories out, which we will get into so much deeper in many other episodes. And there are a lot of other factors that are involved, certainly, that come into play, with individuals, which is why I love my job so much. I love being a dietitian, being able to analyze an individual, because there is no black and white, guys. There is no like perfect, here's this piece of paper with your diet, just do these things, blanket perfect diet for everybody. We're all individuals, and we all have different medical histories, different family histories, different lifestyles, different beliefs. Obviously, we're all different, and everybody's body is different. So my job is so fun because I kind of get to like be a detective almost. And one of my closest friends is a detective, so she's probably going to laugh when I say this because I fancy myself somewhat of an amateur detective. And in my job, I get to play that because I get to really like interview people and get to know them and understand their life and their lifestyles, their likes, their dislikes, and get to sort of like go down this rabbit hole, this mystery of why they're stuck where they are stuck, and how can we start to get them moving in the right direction, or in the direction that they want to go in. And so that one shift, I know it sounds as simple as humanly possible, but that is what this is about. And that is my true passion, is taking all of this information that people have been given and breaking it down for them into basic, simple things that you can start doing to develop the habits. John Maxwell always says that if you want to know what your life is going to look like in 5 years from now, look at your daily habits today, because everything that we're doing today is shaping our future. And so if we want to be in a different sized body, if we want to gain muscle or lose fat or improve our lab markers, if we've been diagnosed with certain conditions or diseases that are influenced by our nutrition status and we want to improve that, if we want to get stronger or just feel better overall, we have to start small and we have to build on it. And so taking the focus off of the scale, because that number is one tiny little factor within a large umbrella of many different factors that make up our overall health and wellness. And everything pairs together. So in my private practice Anchored Nutrition, that is my main focus, is to get you anchored in a foundation, in a belief of who you are, what your North Star is, where you're going. Why is it so important for you to be thinking about your health, thinking about your nutrition, and who do you want to be? And then how can we make those small adjustments to your lifestyle, to your intake, that we can build upon over time, that is going to nourish your, not only your body, but your whole life well, and get you to a place where you're excited, where you actually feel good and you are, starting to see that progress. And once we put the systems and the habits in place and we have that foundation of who you are, who you want to be, what your core beliefs are, and then we start making those changes with your lifestyle habits and your intake and your activity and your sleep, little by little over time, then you will see that the scale kind of follows that. It may not happen. I'm going to take that back. I'm going to tell you flatly right now, 100%, it is absolutely not going to happen within the time frame that you are hoping, or as quickly as you are hoping, because of course we all just want to wake up, we want to eat a salad and an apple one day and maybe go for a walk, and then wake up and, be 50 pounds down and like wearing our jeans from high school or whatever. It doesn't work like that. But the more consistent you are with those things, the more we build upon those things, the better you start to feel. And over time, you will start to see those changes. And the best part of that is not only will you eventually get to a happy, healthy weight where you feel good and you feel good in your clothes and you're happy at that place, but then the best part is you will stay there and you'll be able to actually maintain that, because now you've created a new life for yourself. You've become this healthier person. You weren't just somebody who was on a diet trying to lose that 20 pounds. You've actually created a life. You became that person. You're now just an overall healthy person. And so it becomes the new normal that this is just your lifestyle, and you're able to still enjoy life and enjoy food, which, by the way, I am a good Italian girl and I love food. So my hope for you is that you will be able to accomplish your dreams and reach your goals and still enjoy the food that you're eating, and still be able to enjoy those good holidays and special occasions and things like that typically center around food. That's okay. And again, all of those things we're going to dive deep into in all of these podcast episodes as we continue to go. But to reel it all back in, the one shift that I want you guys to focus on, that I want you to really, it's not easy to do this, but if you can get your brain off of the number on the scale, and now it does not mean that you should never weigh yourself or should never use the scale as a tool, which I will talk about in a later episode as well, how to do that in a healthy way if you want to. That part of it is up to you. you guys. If you want to weigh, we can talk about the best ways. If you don't want to get on a scale, then that's great too. And sometimes we go through different seasons. So if you have been struggling and you are finding it very difficult to detach the emotion from the number on the scale, then I would stay off of it for a while. But I digress. I will not get too into that topic, but being able to shift the focus from what the number on the scale says to who you want to become and what the things are that you're going to do to get you there. Mainly, how are you eating? What are you eating? How are you moving your body? How are you sleeping? All of those factors that play so heavily into what the scale says, we want to focus on adjusting those things and being consistent with those things, and then eventually the scale will follow. But I will tell you something, friends, once you do that, the number on the scale may not change overnight, but you feel a heck of a lot lighter because you're giving yourself permission to get rid of the extra weight of that pressure and that focus and that guilt and shame surrounding that number. So give yourself that permission, take off that backpack of extra weight that you have on your shoulders and just let go, surrender that number, and shift your focus to how you're eating, what you're eating, all of your daily habits that contribute to how our body is functioning, not only, how well it's fed, but also how all the systems of our body is functioning based on our intake and how we're treating our bodies, okay? So please, please, please stay tuned. We are going to get very deep into all of these topics in all of the upcoming episodes, and I can't wait to share it all with you. Hey friend, I really hope you feel empowered by this episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with another friend who needs it? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It brings me so much joy to know this podcast is helping you. Okay, time to go nourish well, aka eat some good food. I'll meet you back here next time for another episode. I love you and God loves you. Have a beautiful day.